Hey, 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 my name's Izzy, and this is Sirius the Jaeger, a dubbed anime review. So, Sirius the Jaeger is an anime that came out a while back in 2018 on Netflix. It's one of their first, I don't know if you want to say it was original anime or if it was one of their original dubbed anime, or at least produced anime. And it's bad. I've seen 69 anime in my life as of right now, and this is number 69. It's bad, it's not good, and I'm gonna talk about it. So, the thing about Sirius the Jaeger is it's not based off a manga, and there's a lot of things to be said when anime is not based off a manga. That doesn't mean it's gonna be bad always, right? Coming to mind, like Cowboy Bebop, considered to be one of the best anime out there, is not based off of a manga. But a lot of times when it's not based off a manga, you can get muddled issues where there's just not a through line to really go off of. I have a cat here. She wants to be annoying. Down. Down annoying. I love her though. But when you dig deep into what makes Sirius the Jaeger tick, it was made by PA Works and released in 2008 and directed by Masaru Ando and written by, I'm going to butcher these names, guys, Keigo, Keonji. And when you look at what animes they've done, you might think, oh, well, they've done some good things. PA Works has done Angel Beats, Another, Charlotte, A Lull in the Sea. Kaigo has done The Rise of the Shield. He has written The Rise of the Shield Hero Seasons 2 and 3. Done Canon, Under the Dog, and Go 575. Mainly that the Rising of the Shield Hero being that big one there that's popular, although it has its obvious haters. The main thing I wanted to focus here is that director, right? I as much as like a writer can ruin an anime and a publishing company or the animation studio can really ruin it if they don't put the effort needed into there, a director really brings it all together. So looking at what he's done here all together, you really see, so like Snow White with the red hair is known to be a very good, very well directed anime. A lot of people like this not shonen, shoujo. I haven't heard a lot about the Civilization Blaster, but I've seen that it's got good ratings. The Maiden in Your Savage Season's about the same. I haven't heard a lot about it. Sword of the Stranger, I've heard some stuff about, with a lot of with it being his highest rated directed anime. Same thing, Blossoms from Tomorrow. Haven't heard a lot. Canon, I've heard of, haven't seen or watched it. Same with the Under the Dog. Apparently, it's not highly rated. It's lower rated than the one we're talking about currently. TP Bone, I've seen on Netflix just sitting there. Apparently, it's pretty decent. But here's the thing: I'm talking about all this because this director is going to be directing Demons of the Shadow Realm. Okay, and my favorite anime of all time is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Okay, so when talking about this director, when doing research for the review on Sirius the Jaeger, I found out about the director, and I found out that he was set to direct Demons of the Shadow Realm. And that made me question whether or not this Demons of the Shadow Realm was going to be good. I really dislike Sirius the Jaeger on like a deep level for many reasons. For many reasons, but it all culminates into one particular reason, of which mainly can be blamed on the director. Now, I haven't seen a work of his that was from a manga, because the only other thing that I've seen that he's done is the 2003 Full Metal Alchemist, and only a few of the episodes, and only the non-canon, non-based off of manga stuff. And so he's going to be given head director of Demons of the Shadow Realm. I bring this up mainly to very much explain my issue I have with Sirius the Jaeger. Okay? All of this is giving you the backdrop of Sirius the Jaeger. What you need to know about Sirius the Jaeger, right? But let's get into the cast. So, over here you can see the main cast. Anime only goes as far, especially dub, as the voice actors can take it. If the voice actors are shite, the acting is, or the anime will be shite. So it's very much important that you get the proper actors to do the proper roles. Do they do that here? Well, Koidoa as as Yuli is fine. He's a perfectly suitable character. He plays that is not the name. He's Koidoa in Demon Slayer. He's also Albedo in Genshin and a few other characters that I've never actually seen him in anything other than here, is what I'm saying. Actually, I've probably seen him in Demon Slayer. I just don't really remember his character as much. But in here, he's fine. He's a great protagonist. He does a good protagonist voice. I think he's doing exactly what he needs to do. It's the same thing with Billy Camps as his brother, doing a perfectly fine job portraying this character. I think Ray Chase is great. Tamara Ryan is not doing their best here. They really feel stunted in this anime when we're talking. The previous roles were video game acting, and so you can kind of really get that younger performance where a lot of the voice acting from her in this is kind of like stilted. It's like I'm delivering my lines like a video game character with pauses so that you understand what I'm saying. But it doesn't flow very naturally. So it's kind of annoying and pulls you out of the show. Great in video games, that way you know what's going on. Eric Kamir is perfect as Philip. I think Philip is a fantastic character. And everything about him really pushes that next envelope of like just being that annoying character that dislikes Yuli and has a connection to Yuli. They all have a connection to Yuli in some way. Well, Dorothy doesn't really. And nor does Fallon, but I think Xander Mobius does Fallon pristinely. Absolutely perfect there. So the cast isn't the issue either. Okay? Again, cast, good. You know? When 5 out of 6 of your cast is doing perfect, and the one that's not doing the best is a side character that doesn't get a lot of scenes, cool. They're good voice actors. The characters themselves are absolutely fine. So maybe the issue is is the plot, right? What about the plot, okay? And I'm going to read this verbatim just so you get the sense of the plot, okay? In 1930, a group of vampires leave China and flee to Japan. They are followed by a group of vampire hunters called Jaegers, under the cover of being a staff of the V Shipping Company. Among them is a young Sirius, man called Yuli, a werewolf whose home village was destroyed by vampires. In the past, a member of the Sirius family, a royal family, was chosen by Oracle to be the agent of God and permitted to possess a mysterious holy relic known as the Ark of the Sirius, which, as a gift from God, could exert power over all things. Because of its potential, the Sirius people came under attack from groups seeking its power, so it was sealed away in a secret location never to be used again. Yuli and the Jaegers engage in a deadly battle with the vampires for possession of the relic. Okay, now, this is a pretty contrived MacGuffin plot, right? Everyone's after the MacGuffin. It's this Sirius royal family thing, the Ark of the Sirius, and so the plot it exists. Is the plot bad? No. Is it overdone? Yes. But here's the thing. It's vampires. I like vampires, right? Werewolves. I like werewolves. Vampire hunters. Those can be pretty cool. It's guaranteed to have some good fight scenes. Oh, there's revenge to be involved. I, as a Lord of the Rings fan, I enjoy MacGuffins. I think a good MacGuffin can be used properly. When used properly, right? It can be fun, interesting even. But is it used properly? Well, kind of not, you know. It comes into play heavily halfway through the season. There's only one season. It never gets a second season. There's never gonna be a second season. It wasn't popular enough, and we will never get another season ever. Season. There, I got it out of my system. Season. That was that one last one. But it does end on a cliffhanger. So, for the most part, like a half cliffhanger, which is kind of annoying. But here's the thing. The plot isn't the problem for me, okay? I think the plot's fine. So here's the thing. The show should have worked. It should be good. It had a good cast, a great director, a fantastic studio. The writer isn't known for much other than Rise of the Cheerleader, which has its ages, but I think the issue at hand, the passing, some of the side characters acting, and the plot being overdone is that it just doesn't come together, which is the director's fault. Episode 1, you get to like a little brief breakdown of each episode. Right? Episode 1 shows his powers, right? So it's like, oh look, here's his powers. He can glow his eyes, and now he's strong. Cool. Not invincible, but strong. Oh look, his brother's a vampire. Good to know. Oh look, it's a flashback of what happened in the past. Okay, that's fine to happen in episode 3. Episode 4, nothing really happens except there's a big weapon that people are afraid of. Episode 5, nothing happens except they're on a train. Episode 6, there's a fight. Episode 7, Willard lied. So the guy who runs the vampire hunters, the Jaeger, or the Jaegers, lied. He was actually there. He was part of one of the groups trying to steal the relic back in the past. That led to his family dying. So he did lie. And then you know, they fail to get the Ark in episode 8, and then episode 9 they go get the Ark because, you know, they actually can get it. In episode 10, you know, they're still Ark police. They need the Ark. Episode 11, oh no, guess what? We're gonna get the Ark of the Vampire, and oh, The brothers love each other. Their love will be forever. And then episode 12, everyone hates Yuli. Yeah, because he kills the big bad vampire of the season, and now he has the arc, but now that he has the arc, he's also a full werewolf, and since he's a full werewolf, the Jaegers hate him, and since he's a full werewolf, the vampires hate him, so now he's on his own, and nothing comes of it, okay? There's nothing going on in several of these episodes, and yet you feel like there should be. They shove so much into so little, and you think this is going to be good. Here's a cool fight scene, but then nothing happens. The fight scene's there because they need a fight scene, right? There's not a fight scene there because the plot requires it. It's because the show needs a fight scene. It just, whether or not it insists upon itself, or the issue underlining here is that overall, it just doesn't click together. All these great parts just don't come to become a cohesive show. I think that's what happens, right? I think whether it's the writing or the directing, there's just too much nothingness here to be considered something good. So Sirius the Jaeger has a 6.95 out of 10 on anime, which means it's not technically bad, it's just not good. To me, it's bad. It's my least favorite anime I've seen. Now I'll tell you, as I've said, I've only seen 69 anime. And what that means is I haven't seen a lot of bad anime. In fact, the only other anime I consider that I have seen that is absolutely horrendous, actually not even horrendous, no, I hate it, is the 68th anime on my list. Everything else other than that, I technically think is a good anime in its own right. I just despise this anime. It's not popular. It's 47,000. It's not super unpopular. I mean, its popularity is 1,000 and in the thousands, and it's ranked in the 4700s. So, it's not like it's considered awful. I can see why some people might like it. If you can ignore inconsistencies and a lack of reasoning and people caring, then maybe you can get into it. I can't. But yeah, so Koei Deo plays Yuli Yoryuchaki Yorov. It's the main character, and this is from the wiki, right? So it's a 17-year-old series werewolf and a member of the Jaegers. He's the son of the series Alexei and the human woman, and a human woman, Sachi. So he's only half Sirius. And has an older brother, McCall, who turns out to be a vampire, right? Well, becomes a vampire. He is a normal clan, but is ruthless when fighting vampires because they destroyed his home. Village of Dogville, which is such a weird name to give to a village of werewolves, I get it. And wiped out its inhabitants. He wields a 3-section staff and retractable blades at each end. And it seems like it should be cool. It should be fun. My cat is annoying, guys. I told you. She's so annoying. She's going to be held now. She doesn't get a choice. So, yeah, like, you end up with this weird situation of, what do we do? If we have a cool character, shouldn't this work? Shouldn't everything be fine? Not really if the cool character doesn't do anything. If he's just, oh cool, I did something and now I'm doing nothing, and then I did something and then I do nothing, and it's like, he doesn't, it's just, it's so boring. And yeah, cliffhangers. Details of the cliffhanger. So, yeah, the powerful vampire that he killed, but Yarval Yevgraf is killed by McCall, who then gives Yuli the Ark of Sirius. Yuli's new burden. Yuli accepts the Ark and promises McCall, who will live with it and show the world the true pride of his people. Unresolved plot points. Characters like Tamari disappear, and the future of the vampires and reconciliation between the races is left uncertain. So it's just like he gets this thing, and then just nothing comes of it. And so, like, yeah, leaving on a cliffhanger sucks, but that happens, right? Sometimes it's like, go read the manga. There's no manga. Okay. So, not only is it unsatisfying ending, so sometimes a bad ending can just ruin your show, it also just doesn't come together. And I don't, as my first review, I don't know if I can aptly explain this properly, but let's see if in this last little bit of the video I can explain it. When you sit down to watch a video, an anime, let's say, specifically, right? Any material, really, but when you sit down to watch an anime, you're sitting down for a few reasons. You're sitting down to see the animation, the voice acting, especially if it's dubbed anime, right? The story unfold. All three need to exist harmoniously. If one is off, it can ruin it all together. If the animation is poor, it can throw off the story, and it can throw off the characters, and everything else. If the story is boring or played out, or maybe you just don't resonate with this story, right? And then it doesn't matter if it looks good or if the characters are great. You still have this boring story. If the characters suck, then it doesn't really matter if your story's fantastic and the animation's great. You have wet noodle characters that never entertain people, right? So you can't have an F in any of these when making an anime. You need to have each be at least a C to be viable as an anime. The issue with Sirius the Jaeger is that its characters are boring. Its animation is only okay. It looks like every other anime made in like the 2010s. And its story is played out and done a million times. But then the pacing is just abysmal. And if you have perfect everything, but the pacing is just shite, you have nothing. Everything can line up, but if you pause constantly to show your main character helping a young girl plant stuff, which doesn't lead to anything, it doesn't lead to character growth, it doesn't lead to understanding, it's just a random scene that's kind of pointless. Like, there shouldn't be pointless scenes. I get that anime can get away with some pointless scenes as an excuse to like let characters grow, but sometimes they're not growing. They're just showing a pointless scene. And that's problematic. Too many of those kills the flow, and they have too many of them in this anime. So I honestly think this anime sucks. It's my least favorite anime I've ever seen. Let me know what you guys think down below. Peace.